10-4. After a 3-month hiatus for the Rio Olympics, World Archery's World Cup season finally concludes in Denmark. With just 3 events to qualify for the World Cup finals, the cream of the crop rose to the top and secured the 7 spots coveted by so many. Joined by some Great Danes, the field's set for another fascinating finals here at the King's Garden in the heart of Odense, located in the heart of Denmark. This lush green garden spot, best known for producing the great writer Hans Christian Andersen, will now produce World Cup champions. Odense is named after the Norse god Odin, and those 4 men and women who ultimately stand atop the podium this weekend will feel like gods, with gold medals draped around their necks. Merhaba, hola, ni hao, bonjour, bon dia, konnichiwa, grietzi, privyet, shalom, annyeonghaseyo, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, good day mates, and good day. Welcome to World Archery's 2016 World Cup Finals, coming to you live from the 3rd largest city in Denmark, located on the Garden Isle of Buden, where we bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it may be, wherever you may be, we're glad to have you with us on Archery TV. I'm Carl Archie, along with Dahlia Crook from the United States, the compound archer who competed this morning. And first of all, Dahlia, congratulations on getting here to the World Cup Finals. That had to be a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a blast.
Pretty exciting?
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of opens your eyes, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a really great experience and a lot of fun.
So you see the setting here at the King's Garden in Odense, Denmark, as we get set for the semifinals. The quarterfinals completed this morning. Dahlia Crook participating this morning and participating in a match against Crystal Gauvin, whom you shall see just momentarily. Just to set the stage for you, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, there will be 5 ends in these matches, 3 arrows per archer in each end. Total points for those 15 arrows determine the winner. If we're tied after 5 ends, the match will be decided by a 1-arrow shoot-off. We've already seen Marcella Tonioli, and now Crystal Gauvin entering stage left here in Odense, Denmark. Crystal Gauvin in the United States, 32 years of age, ranked number 2 in the world, averaging 9.5 points per arrow, 28 career wins, including one this morning, and she's had 2 tiebreak wins as well. And she'll be up against Marcella Tonioli, 30 years of age, 5th in the world, 9.4 points per arrow, 56 wins, and 6 shoot-off victories. Dahlia, how important is it, obviously, to get off to the quick start?
It's definitely important. You only have 15 arrows to shoot, and if you start off slow, there's not a lot of room for makeup. Obviously, anything can happen, but you want to start off strong and you want to keep going strong the whole time.
Yeah, it's a big factor mentally, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When you get up there and you shoot your first arrow even, it's very important to just make the best shot you can make and adjust based off of that.
Right, about 4 o'clock.
So when you shoot an 8 like that, that's a little tough.
Yeah, if that was a good shot for her, though, she can adjust her sight for it, and you can see she's adjusting her sight now. And it's like that was a great shot, and she knows that her sights are exactly where they need to be.
So Marcella Tonioli picks up where she left off this morning.
There you go.
And there's the response
Right at 4 o'clock,
from
5
Crystal
o'clock.
Gauvin.
Yes.
Okay, another strong shot.
Back-to-back
Another
10s
strong
for
shot.
Tonioli.
Still hanging out a little bit on the
higher. I
right
think it's
side.
on the right side for some reason. Yeah.
10, 9, 8.
Tonioli was hoping for a 10-point lead, settled, or excuse me, a 3-point lead. She settles for a 2-point lead. So all in all, it wasn't Crystal's best end, but she's only down by 2.
Yeah, I mean, and in the beginning, there's not usually a huge difference in the scores, but and that's definitely a score that can be made up, and just takes shooting strong the rest of the match.
Good look at Marcella Tonioli, who this summer won an individual and a team bronze medal at Stage 2 in Medellin. Lost out on the bronze medal in the match in Antalya on Coney Alti Beach, but almost 20 World Cup medals to her credit during her career.
Scores have been confirmed. Crystal Gauvin shooting first on target 2. Marcella Tonioli shooting second. 29 to 27 after the first 3 arrows.
So a 2-point lead right now for Marcella Tonioli here in the first semifinal match in women's compound of the World Cup Finals in Odense, Denmark.
There you go.
Crystal trailing by 2 will shoot first.
There you go.
Nice shot.
Still a little low, so just watch this next one here. Another strong shot.
Crystal adjusting, getting into the 10 ring.
10, 9,
9. Okay, let's get this one here. You got this.
Allitriamo.
And both of them seem to have had some on the right side. I wonder if the wind is different here than on the practice range.
Which is often the case.
Just above it.
Chance to go back up by 2.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Okay,
Which is exactly what she does.
right in the middle.
Trying to keep that sun off of her face, out of her eyes. And so close to catching that 10 line. Not quite, though.
10, 9.
9. Yeah, perfect.
So the lead remains at 2, 57-55 after the second end.
So close, I just didn't see it, so.
Gauvin will be shooting first when we resume.
Good look at Marcella Tonioli, who went to Paris 3 years ago, the World Cup Finals. Came back with a silver medal in mixed team competition. In 2011 was the bronze medalist individually at the World Cup Finals in Istanbul.
Thank you.
Good look at the form, the technique, and that compound bow employed by Marcella Tonioli. For quite a while had teamed up with Sergio Pagni, and they were a dominant duo in mixed team competition. Went a couple of years without getting to the podium, but this summer has been back, and as we said, won the individual bronze medal at Stage 2 in Medellin. Meanwhile, Crystal Gauvin, 2016, a 5th place finish in Shanghai, 17th in Antalya, but between those two performances, won the silver medal in Medellin in a classic match with Sarah Lopez down in Colombia. By the way, Sarah Lopez having to withdraw
There you go. That's an X.
right before the World Cup Finals just about a week ago, which is why Dahlia Crook is sitting next to me.
Indeed.
10.
Another one just like the first
Both
one.
of them are shooting really strong. They're shooting good shots, and they're landing where they want them to.
Making adjustments.
Yeah, definitely.
9.
Call.
Drifted a little high on Crystal Gauvin that time.
10, 9, 8.
Your shot, Crystal. You got this.
Taking advantage to move ahead by 3. Marcella Tonioli.
9.
Just right. About 4 o'clock. Yeah, shots look good. Maybe it wouldn't spoil it off. You just can't see it.
10, 10, 10.
Tonioli with 10s across the board moves out to a 4-point advantage, 87-83, after the first 3 ends. So Marcella Tonioli making a strong bid.
Yeah, she's shooting really strong.
Sometimes do you find yourself just kind of searching for answers, trying to figure out,
Yeah,
what do I do
definitely
next?
had that happen. Yeah, definitely had that happen, especially in matches when it seems to be going by so quickly, and you're shooting and you want to know exactly what to do, and you want to be thinking the right thoughts and everything, and it's all about learning and staying positive and staying in the moment and focusing on your form and your shot and not thinking about your competitor or who's winning or who's losing or anything.
Difficult not to get down on yourself?
Sometimes it is. But that's one of the biggest things you can do is, I mean, if you're not doing what you want to be doing, you want to make adjustments, but you don't want to be getting down on yourself for not doing it right.
Shirt sleeve weather here in Odense, Denmark. They tell us it's not always the case this time of year here in Denmark, but we've been blessed with wonderful weather, beautiful, ideal conditions for scoring, and this time Crystal Gauvin scores a 10.
Okay, another strong shot, like the first one.
So the lead down to 3 now here in the 4th end. 5 arrows to go.
9.
Just on that right side a little bit. Everything's still on that right edge.
Mel Nichols in the coach's box. As Tonioli
9,
lines it up,
7,
sends it home,
Shot.
Strong shot.
moves back ahead by 4.
9.
Could be as much as a 5-point lead, and it is. Another 10. A 9 and 2 10s for Marcella Tonioli, who right now is in the driver's seat in her match with Crystal Gauvin, who was the silver medalist. Crystal was a year ago here in Copenhagen at the World Championships. Finished 5th in Mexico City last year at the World Cup Finals. Fascinating story. Crystal Gauvin left the corporate world to pursue a career in archery. We just picked up the bow and arrow about 4 years ago, which is really remarkable, Dahlia.
It really is, yeah. And it takes a lot of experience to get to this level, and she's definitely put in the work to get here.
She was on the fast track.
Yeah, definitely.
She was in a hurry to get here. Great athlete, former swimmer, softball player, water polo player, volleyball player, track and field athlete, was even in crew. And from an academic standpoint, 4 minor degrees in chemistry, economics, philosophy, and theology. I don't know where she finds the time.
Final 3 arrows in the semifinal match.
And now she's a world-class archer.
Nice and strong now.
But she's in a world of trouble right now, trailing by a whole bunch here in this first semifinal match. And you can see those trees right
The wind's
behind her.
definitely picking up.
Yeah, the wind
The right
definitely
side.
becoming a factor.
Yes. 9, 8.
9.
Okay, another strong shot.
So each open with a 9. But Tonioli's got some points to play with.
9.
Just out.
Just barely above it, 9-9.
Yes. 9.
Marcella back in the 10 ring. Very businesslike. Now this could be the final shot, the World Cup Finals for Crystal Gauvin. If it is, she went out on a high note.
Strong finish.
5 to win it. I've got a feeling Marcella Tonioli can do that with her eyes closed. She keeps them open, and she gets a 9 to win it, 144 to 139. So Marcella Tonioli will be going for gold. Crystal Gauvin will be going for the bronze medal.
Yep. We'll see who their opponents will be in this next match.
talk a little bit with Dahlia Crook about getting the news when you found out. I mean, it came completely out of the blue that you were coming here, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. September wasn't a heavy training month for me because I didn't have any tournaments coming up, and it was really cool. My parents, the email came in, and I went over to read it, and I started reading through it. It's like, is this really happening? Is this actually? I got really excited, and then I looked and I'm like, okay, this is real, right? And that evening, we drove out to my coach's house, to Braden's house, and trained for a few days and flew out here. I think it was like 4 days later, and
Here you are.
yeah.
It's interesting how quickly life can change.
Yeah, it was really cool to find out.
Getting set for our next semifinal match, and this is, of course, Sarah Sonnichsen, the hometown favorite, the Danish girl who became the top seed. When Sarah Lopez had to withdraw for personal reasons, health reasons. And so Sarah Sonnichsen, in her first match of the day, came away with a commanding 9-point win over her teammate Erika Anir, 147 to 138, and she'll face Yashim Bostan of Turkey, who scored a 2-point win over Inge van Kaspel of the Netherlands. So who will make it to the gold medal match, and who will move on to the bronze medal match against Crystal Gauvin?
And one of these women will be going on to the gold medal final, one to the bronze medal final. We already know half of the competitors in those matches. Let's find out.
So Yashim Bostan and Sarah Sonnichsen. Yashim Bostan, 21 years old, 6th in the world, averaging 9.5 per arrow, 29 wins in her career. And we'll tell you more about her as the match progresses. And that 2-point win this morning, it starts off almost catching the 10 line.
Stærke skud, god timing.
That's the way Sarah started this morning.
Yeah,
Super god timing på den der. Virkelig godt.
it's a good start to the match.
Bravo.
Bostan
Giv den bare gas.
up to the challenge.
Stærk, Sara. Helt ind i exit.
Right next to each other.
Så er det bare den næste. Det samme
Carbon
stil.
copy of what Sarah Sonnichsen did this morning. She got on a run early.
I think that
Samme
one might have
stil,
caught.
samme rytme. Giv den bare gas.
That one might have caught too.
Og den er inde. Stærk.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that's 3 straight 10s.
Har du den som er?
Sarah Sonnichsen, who's not 100% herself physically,
Så godt ud. Super, nice timing.
but trying to get through it
He's doing a good job.
Rigtig godt.
and trying to get to that gold medal match.
Han er fin i det.
Sarah, 21 years old, 3rd in the world, 36 wins, averaging right around 9.6 per arrow. So far this year, she started off the year
Nej,
in great fashion,
godt. Jeg fortsætter bare.
winning the gold medal at the World Cup Finals indoors in Las Vegas back in February. Then she won a team gold medal at the Indoor World Championships in Ankara. So she set herself up for a great outdoor season, and she's had just that. Won the silver medal in Shanghai, losing in the gold medal match to Sarah Lopez. Finished just out of the running, 4th place in Medellin for the bronze medal, and then was 17th in Antalya. And the judges have ruled that 3 straight 10s to start off the first end for Sarah Sonnichsen.
Ironic that the name of the song is Closer, but you know.
So it's a 1-point lead for Sarah at 30-29.
Kæmpe sejr. Du kører bare på.
Both of them are shooting
Stærke
strong in
skud.
this match.
Very
Bliv
competitive.
bare ved med at bevæge dig. Bare kør på. Bare bliv ved.
9.
9 ud til højre.
And the first 9 of these
Lukker den bare, så tager du bare næste.
this round. And right now we're tied at 39 apiece. And Yashin Bostan means business.
Kør bare på. Kør god timing. Stærke skud. Lige mod. 10 venstre. Stærkt. Kører du næste.
What a look of determination on the face of Yashin Bostan.
God timing.
Definitely. She's
Lige
she's
mod
got
center.
she's got it dialed in. She's focused.
Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
We have got ourselves a great match right now.
This is gonna be fun to watch.
We're tied at 59. So after the first 2 ends, we're all even. Compare the 2 different styles and the techniques that these 2 archers used, Aya.
Well, the first thing that I noticed whenever I've seen these archers shoot before is Sarah's arm is a little more bent, and it seems to have a very straight and just a very straight bow arm.
Rigid.
And that's the biggest difference that I noticed between them. And they're in the way they set off the release is a little bit different too.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah.
Sarah is more commanding in when she shoots her shot. You can see it a little bit. I mean, the slow motion, so it's not as evident, but you can see it when she's ready. She gets her finger on and she pulls the trigger as soon. And Seam wraps her thumb around and she pulls through the shot a little
It's
bit
more of the back tension.
Yeah.
On target number 2 when we recommence.
Both of them effective styles and techniques.
They seem to be working for both of them.
Right now they're tied at 59. Along with Dahlia Crook of the United States, who competed this morning, I'm Carl Arke, and we hope you're enjoying our live shot-by-shot coverage here from Odense, Denmark. 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals. Tied up at 59, starting the 3rd end of this semi-final match. Yashin Bostan of Turkey.
Lige mod. God timing.
She trailed by 1 after the first end, but came back, tied it at 59 all after the second end, and they just continue to both shoot 10s.
Kører du bare næste. God eksekvering. Lige mod center.
Got a tight group down
God
there.
timing.
These 2 are locked in a battle.
Strong
Lige
shot.
præcis. Rigtig godt.
Who's gonna give?
Du kører bare næste.
A little bit shaky on that left arm.
Fortsætter
Yeah.
bare.
We talked about her holding it a little bit more rigidly. That time it was wavering a little bit, and Sarah Holst Sonnichsen takes advantage and moves back in front by 1.
It's a tight match with high scores.
Kører også en lille smule hurtigere dem her. Du er ikke helt så tøvende på. Fik du
Great drama, great suspense, and there you see 3 straight 10s. A perfect round. 30 points for Sarah Holst Sonnichsen of Denmark, the 21-year-old. Who, en route to that silver medal in Shanghai, had to defeat Inga van Kaspel, hold off Linda Choa Anderson, and then only lost by 2 points to Sarah Lopez. 3 years ago in 2013, she was 6th at the World Youth Championships in China. Here she is now, though, battling for a gold medal at the World Cup Finals. 3 years later, and doing it in her home country.
And it's a great feeling competing when you're on home turf.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah, you don't get that opportunity very often.
No, not often. Only at the Vegas shoot.
Yep, så kører du bare.
Now there is a shot that may change the complexion of the match.
It's not what she wanted right now.
And 8 to open up the fourth end.
9 or 10 on the
Den er
line.
lige ude, så rigtig fint skud.
And all of a sudden there's a little bit of daylight as Sarah picks up another point and leads by 2. These two had been matching shots through about 2 ends, but right now Yashin Bostan trying to battle back.
Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Stærk, Sarah.
Sarah doesn't look like she's inclined to let her back into the match.
Nope, not at all. Taking advantage of the opportunity.
Kører du
Though,
bare.
it's 2 good shots right there.
Samme god rytme.
2 excellent shots by Yashin Bostan. But an even better one right there. The lead grows to 3 with 3 arrows to go. 118, 115. If Sarah Sonnichsen can hang on, she'll be in the gold medal match against Marcella Tonioli, and Bostan would be matched up against Crystal Gauvin for the bronze medal.
Okay.
Not where she wants to go, though. It's going to be tough to come back.
18 points out of 112 over Miss Bostan's 115 going into the final.
Sarah Sonnichsen, the highest average arrow amongst the 8 competitors to start this competition, averaging 9.6, and she also had the best match win percentage at 67%. And that look tells the story right there. That 8 by Yashin Bostan right now. Well, it's not the whole difference, but it's part of the difference between her and Sarah Sonnichsen, who holds a 3-point lead.
And Miss Bostan gets that.
Take away that 8, and it might be a 1-point match at this point. You've been in this position before. How tough is that? You're down by 3 arrows to go. I mean, you still got to tell yourself you got to keep shooting. There's a chance.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen several matches before where it seems impossible to win, and tables turn and things change, and you need to make sure that you have, if you didn't start off as strong as you wanted to, you really need to make sure you have a strong finish, because 3 great shots in the last end can do a lot more than you think.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen, and we've seen a lot of things happen.
She just needs to stay focused and shoot her shot.
9.
So close. Just out.
Gode skud, god timing, lige mod center. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
9.
9 over til højre. Det er helt fint. Vinden ligger så en lille bitte.
2 arrows to go.
9.
Kører du bare næste.
Just a little low.
Gode skud. Lige mod center. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved. Bliv ved. Ja, lige præcis.
And that's a good shot.
That's dead solid center.
Can't get much better.
Så bliver du bare ved. Sæt op.
That's a
It's a
good shot
strong
too.
finish.
Kør et godt skud.
Yep.
Lige mod center. Bliv ved med at arbejde.
But barring a collapse by Sarah Sonnichsen, the Danish girl is going to the gold medal match.
Yes, she is.
She wins by 3, 147 to 144. And the grandstands packed here at the King's Garden, enjoying the victory by Sarah Sonnichsen in the semifinals to send her to the gold medal match against Marcella Tonioli, which will be coming up in just a little bit here on Archery TV. Stay with us. We have the men waiting in the wings, and then we'll bring back the ladies for their medal matches, the bronze medal match as well as the gold medal match. And Sarah Sonnichsen, all smiles. 3-point win here against Yashin Bostan after a 9-point win this morning over Erica Anir. So she has scored in her first 2 matches 147 points, 3 points shy of being perfect in each of the 2 matches. Dahlia, that's not bad.
That is not bad at all. that's a great score. You want to do that when you're at the World Cup final.
But now, please welcome the coaches and judge to the field of play for our compound men's semifinal number 1.
So the
And that look
excitement.
describes her feelings right now.
Yeah. You've had that feeling a time or two, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling. I
Yeah.
like it.
And it never gets old,
Ever.
ever.
Please welcome our
All right,
first
the ladies will
archer
step
to the
aside for
play.
just a moment now. We'll let the big burly guys take center stage here in Denmark. Speaking of big and burly, here's Rio Wilde of Pocatello, Idaho, out of the United States. And Rio Wilde coming off a quarterfinal win this morning over Evren Çağıran of Turkey, a 1-point win, 144 to 143. Sherry Wilde, his wife, in the coach's box, as Rio will face Cilliers of South Africa, who was outstanding this morning in his match. He also has his lovely wife in the coach's box as well. Seppi coming off a 2-point win over Turkey's Demir Elma Açla. And Seppi was solid, consistent, and outstanding at times this morning. He got off to a strong start and held the lead. As I look back on the scores from his match, he jumped out to a 3-point lead in that match and never really lost that lead the rest of the way, held it from wire to wire. Again, goes back to what we were talking about, Dahlia, how important it is to get off to a good, strong start.
Definitely, for so many reasons. I mean, you want to be able to make sure your sights are exactly where you want them, because it is different from the practice range. And it's important also mentally to get that strong start right off the bat.
So Rio on target 1.
9.
Posts a 9. Kept it in the gold rings. And Seppi, who was on target 1 this morning, now on target number 2.
9.
And everyone seems to be hitting right. I noticed that in Crystal and Marcella's match, and it seems to be holding true still.
10.
9.
They're going right. What is that telling you?
I'm wondering if the wind is different on the practice range. I'm not sure which way it's blowing right now, but
9.
They're
seems-
all
yeah,
they're all
it-
right.
yeah. I'm guessing the wind is different on the practice range than it is over here. Just a little bit.
10 seconds.
There, Rio
There it is.
zeroes in. Gets his
Nice
first 10.
Totally different wind.
9.
Still on that right side.
Seppi getting closer.
He's adjusting his sight for it.
And when you're adjusting that sight, how do you know exactly? It's not an exact science, is it?
No, not really. It's something that you learn in practice. And,
More of a feel thing?
well, you can figure out how many clicks, because there's clicks on it for how much, but you can figure out how many clicks moves it, what amount on the target. And like for me, if I'm hitting bottom of the 10 or something, I'll move it down 2 clicks. And that usually puts me right in the X. And sometimes if the wind is a little stronger than you think it is, or sometimes it's a comfort click, just enough to where it won't put it out, but it'll make you feel a little bit better. I've had that happen too. But yeah, you just adjust it. It's different for every archer. A lot of things are different for every archer, but yeah, that's something that you learn for yourself.
So Seppi Cilliers to shoot first to start the second 10, and he starts off strong with the 10.
Ten seconds.
Good shot.
Rio and Seppi both dialing it up here to start the second end. Notching it up a bit. So Seppi's starting to find the groove.
Ten seconds.
Good shot.
Spanje handen. Net mooi in lijn. Rustig. 10.
9.
Chance for Rio to build on his lead. A 10 would put him up by 2.
10 seconds.
Holding a little
5,
longer than usual.
4.
9.
Held that one a little longer.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Still a 1-point difference in favor of Rio.
Still up by
Wilde,
1, 57-56.
And Mr. Cilliers will be shooting first.
And when you hold a little bit longer, you're kind of thinking you're just waiting for the perfect time to let it go, right?
Sometimes, and if you're using the back tension, which Rio's using, sometimes, and I use that technique as well. Sometimes it doesn't go off quite in that perfect spot
In that
you
window,
want it to,
yeah.
I've had it where the sight picture starts to move around a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have enough time to let down to restart the shot.
Right.
So that's something else to take into account. But sometimes it's waiting for the sight to settle. I've had that happen too. You're waiting for the sight to settle and just waiting for that perfect timing, and then other times it goes by a little bit faster than you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it just depends on how your sight picture is and how your shot is how your shot's going for that particular one.
So Rio still with the 1-point advantage, 57-56 over Seppi Cilliers of South Africa.
Spanje handen. Mooi daarachter. Focus mooi in die goud.
Seppi also a great coach.
10.
Has worked with us here on Archery TV before. We've enjoyed having him join us, provide his insight. Seppi scoring a 10 on his first
10
shot of this
seconds.
third end, as does Rio.
Mooi in lijn zit. Sterk squid achter. Mooi daar.
10.
Mooi.
Back-to-back 10s for Cilliers.
Ten seconds.
Nice shot. Right next to the first one.
Good neighborhood.
Handen. Focus mooi in die goud. Rustige squid.
Seppi still trailing by 1. Third shot, third end, hits 10s across the board for Seppi Cilliers. So the onus is on Rio Wilde. Needs a 10 to keep his 1-point lead. And you could see his expression as soon as he released. It's an 8, and he goes from being 1 up to being 1 down.
Can change just like that. Just that quickly.
1 point separates these two archers.
From what you could see on that shot, Dahlia, what happened?
Semifinal match.
My guess is what we were talking about before, is it took a little bit too long. The sight picture the shot started to deteriorate, and it just didn't go off in the timing that he wanted it to. And you could see his face afterwards. It wasn't quite what he wanted, but it seemed like a little bit longer of a shot. But I think that it was the timing was probably a factor. It might not have been the main reason. I'm not sure exactly, but I would guess that was a factor in it.
Seppi Cilliers, 20th in the world at the age of 37, averaging 9.6 per arrow. 23 wins during his career. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is so difficult when you're in South Africa to travel and compete on the international scene. The events are so far away.
And that's a good shot now.
Rustig om Spanje
Rio
handen.
battling
Focus
back.
mooi in die goud.
Ignoring those sirens in the background,
Mooi.
as does Seppi Cilliers. So workmanlike.
It's another good shot.
Rio Wilde trying to give himself every chance he can.
Mooi in lijn. Focus
stay in this match and compete for a chance to get into the gold medal match.
10.
Nine.
Now Cilliers has given him an opportunity, giving back a point, and we're tied again at 105 all. Wind rustling through the trees surrounding the King's Garden, and Rio Wilde shot veers to the left into the 9 ring.
Span mooi. Ontspan jou handen. Kom mooi
An opportunity for Cilliers to go back ahead by 1.
10.
Doesn't though.
Nope. All tied up.
No worry.
After 12 arrows, we have a tie.
So we're tied at 114. Tell me how that feels, Dahlia. You've been out there before.
Yep.
It's great for us as fans, but when you're on the line,
Well, some people like shoot-offs. I love shoot-offs. I think they're a blast. But going into the last end, knowing that it's tied and that you or the other person have the opportunity and that you want to make 3 great shots. I mean, you always want to, but especially when it's tied and you don't know what the other person's going to do.
your stomach's got to be churning a little bit, doesn't it?
Little bit. But some of it's nerves, some of it's excitement, and it's a matter of who stays focused and who focuses on their form and goes and follows their plan.
And different people, well, everybody approaches it differently.
Yeah.
I mean, some people really like this. They really enjoy this.
Yeah.
There's other people who dread it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in basketball. Who wants to have the ball in their hands in the last couple of seconds for that last shot?
Yeah. Some people thrive off that pressure, and it's a great feeling when you go into a shoot-off and you shoot a perfect shot.
Well, we haven't had a shoot-off yet today. We'll see if we're going for one. We're tied at 114 all with 3 arrows to go. Rio Wilde shooting first in the 5th.
9.
And opens the door.
Zit net rustig. Elleboog op, mooi in lijn. Focus in die goud. Wacht vol.
Can Seppi take advantage? Yes, he does. 1 point edge for the South African with 2 arrows to go. Rio sticks it. Although it didn't sound like him when he let it go.
Rustig. Elleboog mooi op. Focus in die goud. Span jou aan.
Cilliers cannot afford to let up, and he doesn't.
Nice.
Down to the final arrow in regulation play. Rio needs a 10 right here to keep his hopes alive.
10 seconds.
Nice shot. It's a
The
good
shot
finish.
he had to have.
That puts the pressure
Rustig. Ontspan jou aan.
The pressure on.
Focus net mooi in die goud en wacht vol.
But a 10 will catapult Seppi Cilliers to the gold medal match, and that's where he's headed. 10, 10, 10. Seppi Cilliers so strong in the final end. And he has got a chance to shoot for gold here in Denmark. The South African, Seppi Cilliers, into the gold medal match, winning by 1 point. I'll tell you what,
See, he's
it takes it
taking
out
that
of you,
in.
doesn't it?
You can see he's taken in the moment. It's a great feeling when you win your semifinal match and you know that you're going to that gold medal match and you have the opportunity to win.
A 1 point win, 144, 143. Great battle between these two great archers, and Seppi Cilliers of South Africa comes out on top. Taking in the moment, and also I think just feeling that sense of relief.
Yeah.
With his wife providing moral support.
Judge to the field of play for semifinal match number 2.
Seppi Cilliers. Now we'll go back and regroup, as will Rio Wilde, who definitely does not want to go home empty-handed. So he'll be battling for the bronze medal here in Denmark. Now our second semifinal match. And this one's intriguing. To me it is. Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands. First out, he'll be on target number 1. And Mike Schloesser, at 22 years of age, is ranked number 1 in the world, averages 9.8 per arrow.
Please welcome his competitors to the field of play.
And he'll be taking on Buden of Croatia, 19 years old. He knocked off Sergio Pagni this morning. Came from behind to do it. In fact, in that match, Sergio Pagni had jumped out to an early lead, 29-27, and Buden was able to come back and win by 143 to 142. So he showed his mettle and what he's made of. An outstanding archer, Buden of Croatia. So two of the best young male archers in compound, getting set to go head-to-head here in Denmark on a golden autumn afternoon here in late September. Carl Arke along with Dahlia Crook of the United States USA team. And Mike Schloesser to shoot first. Schloesser, the world champion from 2013 in Bellick, leans back and lets it go, and it's a 10.
It's a good start. That's what you want. Same thing. Strong start for both of them.
Buden dialed in.
9.
9.8 rechtshoog.
So Mike providing an opportunity now for Buden.
9.
Doesn't take advantage.
29 is a good start.
So both with scores of 29 on their first 3 arrows, and we're even at 29 apiece here in this semifinal showdown between Buden and Mike Schloesser. Mike Schloesser this year, won stage 1 in Shanghai with the 7-3 win over Zach Garrett. Oh, excuse me, not Zach Garrett. Couldn't be Zach Garrett. Let's just say he won stage 1 in Shanghai. Finished 4th in Medellin, and also came close to getting the bronze medal in Antalya. But it's been interesting to watch Mike over the last couple of years. He is so good. I mean, he's set world records in qualifying, and then sometimes things don't go quite his way in the big matches, in the big medal matches. And he himself and his coaches have talked about that openly and publicly, that, yeah, he's got to get a little bit stronger in those situations.
Yeah, it's a high pressure situation. It's something that can't stop improving on. And yeah, it's definitely.
It's different from qualifying and eliminations, isn't it?
Yeah, being on the stage, it's a different atmosphere.
That's what Mike Schloesser does with regularity. And when he's on his game, he's tough to beat.
It's a good shot. Both of them.
Yeah, Dom's proving to be a tough customer too. Just a little bit of a slip that time for Buden.
9 or 10 on the line.
That's close. Can't tell. So it might be tied. We'll have to see with Mike's arrow. I couldn't tell very well.
It was tough from our angle to tell. Judges will take a look at it from a couple of different angles before coming back with a final ruling and decision on that. Sometimes you just have to shake your head.
Yep.
Don Buden, 19 years old, 15th in the world, averaging 9.6 per arrow. Lives and trains in Zagreb, Croatia. So Ron van der Hoff, the Dutch coach, and Mike Schloesser intently looking 50 meters downstream. Trying to get it. It was 3 straight 10s. They give him the 10.
And 59 points out of a possible 60. The Holger Buden shooting first on target 2.
Blijf bij je taak gewoon, hè. Doen wat je moet doen.
And here we go for the third end.
Checken. Čvrsto refulje. Čvrsto unutra.
Don Buden from Croatia. Leads off with the 10. Which is matched by Mike, who maintains his 1-point lead. He led 59-58 after that second end, after the judges decided that that was indeed a 10 on his final shot of the second end.
Good shot. Both of them.
Čvrsto unutra. Čekaj pucanj. Čekaj mirno.
10-10-10, perfect score.
So 10-10-10. Don Buden staying right on the heels of Mike Schloesser, and might catch him if Mike comes up with anything less than a 10, and that's what happens, and we're tied at 88 apiece.
We are tied at 88 points for each archer after 9 arrows.
Yeah, and it can, like I said before, it can turn around just like that. And I mean, it's not a full turnaround. It's tie, and it's exciting when to watch it. I mean, when you're actually in the situation, you would much rather be leading, but
you've got to, I imagine you do the same thing too, Dahlia. While you're training, you imagine yourself in these kinds of situations. You have to visualize these kind of situations.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you've been there before.
Yeah, and training for this tournament, I was doing a lot of visualization, especially with not a lot of time to prepare for it, and it's really important. And I remember years ago, I would watch these videos and stuff, and from the World Cups and everything, and go out and train and imagine being in those situations. And that was years ago, and it's definitely something that can be prepared for.
Blijf bij je taak, hè, Mike.
So when you're practicing in the barn back in outside Wichita, Kansas,
Yep.
you think of yourself in an 88 all tie, huh? Going into the fourth end. Schloesser and Buden knotted at 88. Schloesser trying to untie the knot. Makes a statement.
Like that shot.
Polagano unutra.
Buden will like that too. That shot, not sure he's going to like it all.
Održi pritisak, čvrsto unutra, čekaj pucanj. Čekaj pucanj, pusti ga da odradi.
Not gonna like that one
Rekao
either.
sam ti čekaj.
Had a chance to go up by 1. He goes down by 1. Advantage Schloesser. Takes advantage.
Čvrsto unutra.
And at worst, Schloesser will have a 1-point lead heading to the fifth end.
9.
And in fact, it'll be a 2-point lead.
It is now a 2-point
117-115. Favor Mike Schloesser trying to get to the gold medal match and take on Cilliers of South Africa.
Nemaš ništa napraviti. Ne, napravili smo sve što.
Semifinal match number 2.
Thank you. Nemaš ništa, pići dalje.
Mike checking out his arrows. Seems like a simple thing to do, but if you don't,
Yeah, you want to make sure that your nocks aren't broken. You didn't hit an arrow and damage it. Check the fletching. Some people, sometimes you can spin them in your hand and see if they're straight still. But you definitely want to check them and make sure that they're not damaged in any way, because you don't want to be shooting that arrow if it is.
it's part of the details, those little details.
Yep, make all the difference.
Yep, can make a big difference. Had it all the way, right, Mike? Yeah. He wasn't so sure at first. Mike Schloesser
Blij bij je taken,
finished
Mike.
8th a year ago at the World Cup Finals in Mexico City.
Idemo Rami.
Did not shoot at the World Cup Finals in 2014
Lijepo.
or 2013 in Paris.
Good shot.
Buden hoping to make a comeback bid. Needs some help from Mike Schloesser. Gives back a
9,7
point.
Max.
Čvrsto unutra.
There's 1 point separating them with 2 arrows to go.
And he's doing good. The last end is important because you want to finish strong, especially if you're not leading. Oh, especially if you're leading or if you're not leading. Either situation.
We are now tied
Yeah.
Čvrsto damo.
because Buden kept fighting.
Čvrsto unutra, mirno.
He is now in a
Nema
position.
vremena. Radi. Dobar pucanj.
Oh, and just as we say that, the dreaded red. So a 9 here for Schloesser will wrap it up and put him in the gold medal match. Had 9s on his previous 2 shots, and he gets the 9. He was struggling, you could see.
Yeah. He wanted it to go off sooner.
Held it together just long enough, just kept it in the 9 ring, and as a result, that 9 sends Mike Schloesser to the gold medal match. What a battle, though, with Dom Buden, who came back and tied it up with 1 arrow to go, only to shoot an 8 on his last shot. I'm sure it'll be a little bit tough for him to get to sleep tonight.
Well, still has 1 more match though.
True.
Needs to shake it off and take what he needs to with him for the next match and learn what he needs to learn. And I mean, there's about, I guess, half an hour until the bronze medal match for him, and he's gonna have to take that time to prepare for it, to shake off this match.
It's easier said than done, though, isn't it, Don?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Not that it's happened to you before, but
I mean, you always want to win the gold, but when the semifinals don't go the way you want them to, you need to learn how to move on and to get ready for the next match and give it everything you have for that.
you're 16 years old. How have you learned to do that?
Still a learning process.
You're still learning, oh, okay.
But had a great coach who is able, who has a lot of experience and is able to give me insight into just refocusing. Refocusing is the biggest thing. It's the same after you lose the semifinal match to after you shoot a bad arrow. It's just resetting. That doesn't matter anymore. You can't change it. And moving forward.
Moving on, which is what we're doing right now. The women's compound bronze medal match, pitting Crystal Gauvin and Yashin Bostan against each other. Yashin Bostan of Turkey dropped her semifinal match with Sarah Holst Sonnichsen by 3 points, 147-144. A lot of times 144 is enough to get it done. She was up against Sarah Holst Sonnichsen and came away with a 3-point setback. Meanwhile, Crystal Gauvin, in her match against Marcella Tonioli, outscored 144 to 139. Crystal falling behind by 2 points in the opening end of her match with Marcella Tonioli, and Yashin Bostan also falling behind by 1 point in the first end. So it goes back to what we've been talking about, how tough it is. If you fall behind in that first end, tough to make it up.
Yeah, it's a mental battle sometimes, because you want to start off strong and you want to start off leading, but sometimes it doesn't happen, and you need to refocus. And like I was saying before, and you need to refocus and just give everything you have after that.
Start off nice and strong, just like you always do.
Here in the heart of downtown Denmark, motorcycles, sirens, all sorts of distractions in the background as Crystal starts off with a 9.
Eight or nine.
Nice strong
Control
shot.
the call.
I think that's just out.
There you go. That's an X.
That's a good shot.
Strong shot for Crystal Gauvin, who grew up in Medina, Ohio.
That's a good
Another
shot
strong
too.
shot. Just like
Seeing Bostan picking up her game. Trailing by 1 now as
There
Gauvin
you
gets
go.
it inside the 10 ring again.
Okay.
It's a strong start.
At worst, she'll have a 1-point lead.
9.
And instead, it's 2-point lead, 29-27 for Crystal.
Two archers. Yashin Bostan's first arrow could be an 8 or a 9. We'll have to see what they say down at the target. But right
Remember how
now,
we were talking about the angles those things go into? That's the bad one there, because she went through like that, but she is below.
Crystal Gauvin working with Mel Nichols.
Black at all.
target number 1.
Crystal, 32 years old and second in the world. A silver medalist in Copenhagen a year ago, the World Championships. Was 5th in Mexico City a year ago, the World Cup Finals, and trying to build on that
And ladies and gentlemen,
and take a bronze medal back home to the United States in the 2016 Archery World Cup Finals. The Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals.
They called it an 8. We're good. Just nice strong. We don't have to worry about it. We're going to finish off with 10 for the rest of this. Next 4 in. Really good. Nice strong shot.
target number 1 when we music.
So down by 2, Yashin Bostan will shoot first. And the 21-year-old starts off with a 10.
There you go. Right there.
It's a good shot.
Crystal very focused, as is Bostan.
Okay, another strong
Bostan
shot.
with back-to-back 10s.
There you go. Right there.
Same
That's
for
another X.
Crystal.
Good. Nice strong shot here. Let's get them all.
So Gauvin with a chance to go up by 3.
Yep, that's it.
There it
She
is.
does.
Right there. Job.
It's shooting good.
On the 3
3 straight 10s for Crystal Gauvin. Clears the table here in this second end.
And this Bostan will be shooting first when we resume.
And goes up 59-56 over Yashin Bostan. Is there a tendency, Dahlia, if you do take an early lead like this, to let up a little bit, and you have to guard against that?
It really depends on the person, actually. There are some people who, once they smell blood, they just get after and they never let up. And then there are some situations where people will be ahead and they'll start thinking about it and not in the way you want to. And
can you tell that when you're at the line or when you're up shooting against somebody? Can you get a sense of what might be going through their mind?
Sometimes, but it's better to just stay focused on yourself and
take care of your own business.
Yeah, pretty much. But when I'm watching, it's interesting to see the dynamic and just figure out what might be going through their head based on just their shooting even, and how their shot looks and the confidence in it, and yeah. And
Nice
that was a great shot.
You've seen Bostan with a 10.
There you go, another X right
Matched
Nice.
by Crystal.
there. Okay, another strong shot, just like the first one.
Tam yukarıda. 8-9 çizgisinin orada.
Yep, that's another one.
And Crystal's not wanting to let up.
No, you can tell that. Back-to-back 10s, leading by 4 now.
Another nice long shot, you're going to get them all. Just above it.
Just a little bit.
Gave back a point, but still has a 3-point lead at 88-85.
Yep.
The first 9 arrows, we are going into the final 6 arrows of
So
this
Crystal
bronze
Gauvin
medal match. Yashin Bostan will be
makes her
shooting
home on
first
the east
on
coast of the
court
United
one
States.
when we resume.
Picked up a bow and arrow in 2012 after she was dared by her husband Rich to give the sport of archery a try. Said, why not? She tried just about everything else. Great athlete throughout her high school days and college days. Former swimmer, softball player, water polo player, volleyball player, track and field athlete. Even got into crew. Mountain biking is a big thing. I think still is
Yeah.
for Crystal when she's got a chance.
Yeah, I think she and her husband Rich, I think they still mountain bike some.
Very active, very athletic family. And it's an amazing thing to see somebody be able to pick up a bow and arrow and 4 years later compete at this level. In fact, was competing at this level much, much sooner than that. Saw her at the World Championships at Christianborg Palace in Copenhagen a year ago. Competing for a gold medal there and getting the silver. 6 arrows to go in this match as Bostan
Strong shot, Crystal. Here you go.
bangs home a 10.
There you go. Right
It's a
on that
good
X.
shot.
And Gauvin goes mining for more gold.
Bravo.
Right next
Okay,
to
another
it.
strong shot, Crystal.
Crystal trying to hold Yashin
There you go,
Bostan
right
at
there.
bay. And that 10 will help. Still a 3-point lead.
Bravo. İşte böyle.
Very strong mentally.
Yeah.
Down by 3, but she keeps on shooting.
No, this is
And
a
at
good shot. We
8.
got another 3 good ones here.
We'll drop the lead down to just 1. And that's why you keep shooting those 3 straight 10s, like Yashin Bostan just did, because you never know.
Yeah.
Crystal
And if-
Gauvin might shoot an 8.
And it puts the pressure on your opponent too. That's the other thing is mentally it's good for you to shoot 3 straight 10s. I mean,
Thank you.
it's a great feeling. And then also there's a good chance your opponent's going to notice. And it's important for so many reasons.
Although you're not supposed to pay attention, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that so many times. But I know you know what
Yeah.
they know, and they know what you know, and
Yeah, it's
you're all
easy to
paying
get
attention to each
yeah.
other, right?
It's easy to get distracted,
Uh-huh.
but most times the winner is the person who stays focused. And I mean, we see that a lot. Just staying focused on your form and staying focused on your shot and not getting wrapped up in who you're shooting against or what they're shooting, because you can't control that.
Right.
Only focusing on what you can control, which is your shot.
Tough to block out, though, isn't it? It's tough to block it all out, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little more difficult than you'd like, but it's still a very important thing to focus on.
Fifth end, down by one. Yashin Bostan trying to keep the pressure on. She certainly did that in the fourth end with 3 straight tens, and now we are tied at 125. That 3-point lead is gone.
Yep.
Dediğimi unutmayın.
Anybody's match with 2 arrows to go. 9 for Bostan.
Güzel devam.
Bronze medal hanging in the balance.
Güçlü ol. Sona kadar savaşıyor.
Chance for Crystal Gauvin to go back ahead, but she needs a 10. Got
There
it.
She
you go,
gets
right
it.
there.
Nice. It's good shooting.
Up by 1 with 1 arrow to go. Bostan has never given up throughout this entire match. That 9 may have sealed her fate. A 9 will do it for Crystal Gauvin.
She
And
gets
the
it.
bronze belongs to Crystal Gauvin of the United States as she scores a 1-point win over Yashin Bostan here in Denmark.
That's good.
It's a good feeling.
Crystal Gauvin gets the bronze medal. So big smile, a lot of relief,
Yeah.
and a lot of hard work pays off for Crystal Gauvin, who's had to balance her career with archery, which has not been always the easiest of things to do, but somehow she's been able to make it work, and it pays off here in Denmark as she walks out of the King's Garden with a bronze medal. And Yashin Bostan, what a great performance by that young lady, 21 years old, and someone I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from in the years to come. So the bronze medal has been decided, and it belongs to that young lady, Crystal Gauvin. She says, yeah, man, that was a lot of work.
Neither one of them wanted to give that up.
Had the 3-point lead, saw the 3-point lead disappear,
Just like we were talking about.
and then pulled it out of the fire.
Yeah. And that's where that lead comes in sometimes, is just, it pays off in the end.
Sure, I mean, she'd rather not have shot that 8 in the fourth end, but she was able to survive it because she had a lead.
Exactly.
So here we go. Big, big crowd here in King's Garden, and a lot of them, I'd say almost all of them, are waving the Danish flag for this young lady, Sarah Holst Sonnichsen, who seems to be soaking in the moment. Big smile, great feeling to be competing in your home country. And Sarah Holst Sonnichsen, who dispatched Yashin Bostan by 3 points earlier, and in her first quarterfinal match of the day, got past Erica Anir, 147-138. Now her toughest test of the day by far, facing Italy's Marcella Tonioli. So the gold medal on the line right now, Marcella Tonioli and Sarah Holst Sonnichsen.
Let's find out after these next 50 arrows who's taking home.
As Brady Ellison gets a little dental work done. Well, you never know. You just never know when you're going to be on camera. You know, you just always assume there's going to be a camera somewhere.
It's going to be when you least expect it.
Yeah. Okay. Always floss. Tonioli takes first crack at it.
10,
9.
Du kører det bare din gode
And the
timing,
30-year-old
så
Tonioli
godt skud,
opens up with a
lige mod
9.
center. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med
She's
den.
coming off a
Bliv ved med at
5-point
arbejde
win
med
over Crystal Gauvin.
9.
Sonnichsen with a 9.
den. Udmærket. Den har også lagt sig en lille bitte smule. Tager bare næste, det så rigtig fint ud.
8 or
Kører
9.
bare næste.
Very close to the
God
line.
timing. God ryg.
Tough line call.
Lige mod center. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
10.
That shot speaks for itself.
Yep.
Dieci, 9, 8, 7.
10.
Marcella, magnificent.
God timing. Godt stærkt skud. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
10.
Yep.
Sonnichsen rips it in there. So depending upon that line call, it'll be a 1 or 2 point lead for Sarah Holst Sonnichsen, who I don't think has trailed in any match so far today.
Yeah.
9. Making this either a
I don't think so.
She got out to a 1 point lead in her win over Yashin Bostan, and earlier today against Erika Anir, led by 4 after the first end. So if memory serves me correct, Sarah Holst Sonnichsen has not trailed once today, not at all. Became the top-ranked archer coming into this event after the withdrawal by Cyril Lopez due to personal reasons, some health issues. And we wish Sarah Lopez a speedy recovery and hope she gets well soon. We'll see her back out next summer on the World Cup circuit. Be a great season next year. Stops in Salt Lake City. You'll get to compete on home turf
Yeah, that'll be fun.
the U.S. One of the tour stops will be in Salt Lake City. Of course, we'll be in China and Turkey once again. I believe Berlin and Rome as well. So it'll be an interesting World Cup season, and the World Championships in Mexico City next fall, a year from now.
It'll be a fun season.
Marcella trying to wrap up this season
10,
with a huge win.
8, 7.
She's only down by 1, 29-28.
That's a good shot.
Lige mod center. Godt stærkt skud. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Yes, lige præcis. Lige præcis. Stadigvæk en lille smule til højre, men det er helt okay. Nu er det bare næste skud.
See that one, she released it. Didn't like that one too much.
Arbejde med den.
Out in the red zone.
Lige mod center.
Not where you want to be.
Udmærket. Fint nok. Tager bare næste. Der er
Sarah
ingen,
makes her
der
pay
ikke
for it a
er
little bit.
Kører bare videre med næste.
Could have been worse as far as Marcello is concerned.
10, 9.
Kører du bare igen.
Tacks
Good
on
comeback.
another 10.
Skud. God timing. Lige mod center. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Yep.
Maintains the 2-point lead, 58-56.
And 2 points in the second lead to archers after the first 6 arrows. 58 for Ms. Sonnichsen, 56 for Ms. Tonioli. And we'll be going into the final 9 arrows coming up just after.
So Marcella Tonioli trailing by 2 after the first 2 ends. Tonioli this season winning an individual and a team bronze medal at stage 2 in Medellin. Almost won a bronze medal in Antalya on Conialty Beach. At the World Cup finals in Paris 3 years ago, a mixed team silver medal. And at the World Cup finals in 2011, 5 years ago, Marcella was the bronze medalist in Istanbul. Maricela has also had some heartache along the way. I remember 2012 in Tokyo, she had some equipment problems and lost her first round match. Missed on a couple of shots because she never could get the arrow to release.
Yeah.
Those things happen.
Yeah. And it stinks when they happen, especially in this type of event. We work all season to get here.
And then something like that happens. But I'm sure a good learning experience for her as well. A painful one, tough one. Sonnichsen gives back a point. So it's a 1-point edge, 67-66 here in the third end. Tonioli trying to hang tough. And does.
Staying strong.
Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Yes, det er præcis. Går en lille smule højt. Gør det bare klar til næste.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Kører du bare et godt skud.
Tried to keep that arm straight and steady. Got a little wobbly there at the end. And the 8 puts her behind the 8 ball, although an 8 by Sarah Holst Sonnichsen keeps the lead at only 1.
Wow, yeah.
Could have put her
85 and 84 in favor of Miss Sonnichsen. Going into the final 6 arrows.
could have put her in her rear view mirror, like we like to say back home.
Yeah.
Instead, what happens on something like that? Somebody shoots an 8 and you think, oh, wow, there's a chance.
Yeah,
And you shoot an 8, or she shoots an 8.
it's my guess is thinking about that the fact that you can capitalize on this and not just staying focused and staying in the shot. And
So again, the mind game comes into it.
Goes back. There's a lot in archery and a lot of sports that just goes back to staying focused and focusing on what you can control. And
it's a 1-point match.
yeah, it's just focusing on the controllables and your shot. It's very important.
So Maricela Tonioli, rather fortunate, you have to think, to only be down by 1 after shooting an 8 on her final shot of that end. She was at the mercy of Sarah Holst Sonnichsen, and Sarah's 8 keeps this match close.
10,
9.
Så kører du bare godt stærkt skud, Sara. Hold dig til din timing. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Lige mod center. Bare bliv ved. Yes. Rigtig godt.
It's a good comeback. It's a good shot.
Moves up by 2, 95-93.
Yes.
Kører du bare samme gode rytme.
So tough, Tonioli.
Lige mod center. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Yep. Rigtig godt.
Cattiva, Cattiva. 10, 9, 8.
And another 10 by Tonioli.
Samme gode rytme. Samme god timing. Stærkt skud.
Gives herself a
Lige mod
chance.
midten, og bliv ved med at arbejde. Bliv ved med at
Sarah with
arbejde.
that
Bliv ved med at
left
arbejde.
bow arm bent just slightly. Is it an 8 or is it a 9?
I can't tell. She doesn't seem to like that shot too much.
Skide være med det, ikke? Den er bare lige ude.
So another possible 8 on the third arrow of an end. Just when it looks like Sarah Holst Sonnichsen is going to put it away, she shot an 8 to finish up the third end, and she may have shot an 8 to finish up the fourth end. If she did, we're tied at 113 with just 3 arrows to go.
Er vi enige om det?
And let's hear it for Denmark.
This Danish crowd on the edge of their seats.
We get the upgrade.
So we're still waiting to find out officially from the judges.
I think they called it in.
If it was,
Maybe. Yep.
yep, it is a 1-point lead for Sarah. 114, 113.
Tonioli shooting first.
3 arrows to go. Still anybody's match.
Mm-hmm.
For the gold medal.
Yes. 9.
9.
Godt skud.
Tonioli starts out high.
Lige mod center. Bare bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
Sarah, 10.
Så er det bare næste. Så er der klar til næste.
That's what she wants right now.
Yes. 9.
Så tager du næste.
9 on 10 on
Close, very close.
Can't tell.
Stærk skud.
Shot's going to be important, I'm guessing.
Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
9.
Yep. Begge to ser en lille smule til højre. Tager du bare næste.
Could be a 2-point lead. It may only be a 1-point lead.
We'll see.
Yes.
Takes aim on the 10 ring and got it. Caught the line.
Stærk skud.
Actually, well inside the line.
Lige mod center. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
So a
Bliv ved med at arbejde
9.
med den. Bliv ved med at arbejde med den.
And there's the 9 for the gold medal.
We'll see on that one arrow. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on the judge's call.
Det gør skide godt så.
Is the deciding factor of this medal.
What we think will be the gold medal.
Oh,
Take a look at that arrow.
if that's in, it'll be a shoot-off.
Se lige, hvad det
We
ser
have
ud.
not had a shoot-off all day. Marcella Tonioli. Talk about some tense, anxious moments.
Nej, hey, prøv at altså.
Waiting.
Nothing like a shoot-off in the gold medal match.
Det er bare et tættest midten. Det er et hug. Det er skide.
Waiting to find out her fate.
Der er ikke noget der. Du
So
kører bare
now,
videre.
the judges for World Archery inspecting it from at least 2 angles.
Du tager bare næste sejr. Ikke noget problem, Stenlær. Kan du sagtens.
And we will soon have our decision. We are tied. We're tied. It was in. And Marcella Tonioli has new life. What a match. So they changed that second arrow to a 10, and we're tied at 142, and we're going to a shoot-off.
Laver du bare en af dem? Kører du bare stærkt selv?
1 arrow shoot-off. The archer with the arrow that's closest to the center will be the gold medalist at the World Cup Finals of 2016 here in Odense, Denmark.
Er der bestemt nogen, du gerne vil have?
And if you thought it was tense a moment ago, we're about to ratchet that up just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sarah Holst Sonnichsen has never been in a shoot-off. According to my records, Marcella Tonioli has won 6 shoot-offs.
Wow.
So for whatever that's worth, yeah,
She's got a lot of experience under her belt.
been in this situation before.
Bare træk vejret ned i maven. Fint nok, du er nervøs. Det kan jeg.
And from our research, from what I can tell,
Kører vi bare den her. Stille og roligt.
the records would indicate that Sarah has not participated in a shoot-off before. New experience for her.
Lige mod center. Jeg tæller dig igennem hele vejen.
So Marcella Tonioli going to shoot first. Many think that that's an advantage.
Cattiva subito, eh. Yes. 9.
Open. The door
Stærkt setup. Lige mod center.
is ajar.
Bliv ved med at arbejde med den. Kør din
Sarah
timing.
Holst
Bare bliv ved med at
Sonnichsen.
arbejde med den. Bliv ved.
For the gold. Oh, it's going to be tough. Wait.
We are going down to a measurement, and I don't want to say anything.
Unbelievable.
We are going to measure these
I don't.
arrows.
Took a pretty quick shot.
I think
It
it's.
looks as
it
though
looks like it's
maybe
Marcella.
look like yes. According to Falco Eye, it looks like it's going to be Marcella Tonioli
Yeah.
by the skin of her teeth.
I think she.
She shot a 9. And
Oh,
they'll
they have to
measure.
De sidder
measure.
forskellige kigger. Men det var ikke noget dårligt skud, det der, så det var det virkelig ikke. Altså, det var helt
You can see those calipers on the big screen right now. They are indeed measuring it down to the millimeter to find out who.
Trying to be as exacting as they possibly can be with a World Cup gold medal on the line. But according to Falco Eye, it would appear as though Marcella Tonioli would be the winner of the shoot-off and the gold medalist. The measuring's done. And there's the call. Marcella Tonioli has done it.
Wow. That was a hard-fought match.
And what an emotional moment for Marcella Tonioli. We talked about the heartache of 2012 in Tokyo, where she was upset and undone by equipment problems in the first round. A shocking loss than Tokyo. And here 4 years later, she's able to hold her bow high above her head as the gold medalist at the World Cup finals in Denmark. What a match. Tonioli trailed by 1 after the first end, was down by 2 after the second end, still trailed by 1 after the fourth end, but somehow, some way was able to get it to a shoot-off, and somehow, some way was able to win by that much.
Couldn't have been closer than that.
Whoa, unbelievable. Marcella Tonioli, the gold medalist, Sarah Holst Sonnichsen, your silver medalist, and Crystal Gauvin, the bronze medalist. I'm not sure the guys can top that.
It was a pretty exciting match. We were just talking about how we hadn't had a shoot-off yet.
And lo and behold, the shoot-off goes to Marcella Tonioli, the 30-year-old. And we said she had won 6 shoot-offs before. And the first shoot-off for Sarah Holst Sonnichsen does not go her way, unfortunately for Sarah. But a silver medal at the World Cup finals, not too shabby.
Nope, not at all.
Now our final 2 matches of the day as the men come back for their medal matches. We started with 8, we're down to 4. And Dom Buden is one of those 4. He's in the bronze medal match. The Croatian from Zagreb facing Rio Wilde of the United States for the bronze medal. Rio losing a nail-biter to Seppi Cilliers, 144 to 143, and Dom Buden dropping a 2-point decision to Mike Schloesser. So both in close matches in the semifinals, coming up just a little bit short. So Buden, the 19-year-old, taking on the 42-year-old Rio Wilde.
Be a good match.
Strong start.
Refulija radi.
Good start for both of them.
Confidence builders.
Yep.
Seconds.
8.
Čvrsto unutra refulija. Čvrsto unutra radi.
Rio immediately adjusting his sight.
That's a good shot.
pripazi.
It's good focus on that one. And focusing
Čvrsto
after the
unutra.
second shot.
Još ima vjetra.
9.
Flinched just a bit. Still has a 1-point lead, 29-28.
28 for Rio Wilde after the first 3 arrows.
Sam ti rekao još i prije.
Wilde was first when he was young.
Da, ali ga, tako je, ali on na druge plati. Njemu je drugi refleks.
Now that you've been through your boot camp with Braden Galantine,
Ali gledaj.
what's the difference? I mean, between the men's game, the women's game. I mean, how do you see that? Is it that much different?
Možeš probati ići unutra pa šta Bog da.
Well, I think it's
Because I seriously think that you gals can compete
Oh yeah.
on the same level with the guys.
Yeah.
I'm in your corner.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the shooters in especially in pressure situations because sometimes you see higher scores from the men and sometimes it's from the women, but
Ako vidiš.
in a 15 arrow match, it really boils down to the focus and the mental process and the mental processes that everyone has, and you don't see very much of a variance between the two.
Between the two genders, I don't.
In 15 arrow matches, it's really not much, if any, of a difference when it's such a small amount of arrows.
10 seconds.
Like I said, the skill is there, and it really boils down to where your mind's at and what you're thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Both open with nines.
Promjena je. Obrati
Strong
pažnju.
shot. Ten seconds.
Čvrsta unutra.
Rio offers up a 10.
9.
And we're tied at 47 now.
Polako.
10 seconds.
10.
Good end. Just like that, Rio's in the lead now.
Dobro.
So a 2-point swing
Ali prestani pizdit nego da je
as
da
Rio
Uzmi drugu strelu.
down by 1 after the first end, goes up by 1 after the second end. Buden with only 27 points on 3 straight nines here in this bronze medal match at the World Cup Finals.
Što je bilo problem sada?
In case you're just joining us,
Very smiley though.
it was Marcella Tonioli winning a shoot-off to win the gold medal over Sarah Holst Sonnichsen and Crystal Gauvin, the United States with the bronze medal, taking a 1-point decision over Turkey's Yasin Bostan.
Buden will be shooting first on target number 1.
Bronze medal match right here. Buden, Rio Wilde battling it out for the bronze. In just a little bit, it'll be Cilliers and Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands going for the gold.
Trenutačno je mirno.
It's a good shot. Looked confident.
The 19-year-old. And a great
right
shot.
there.
Nine.
Chance for Rio to go up by 2 now. And he does.
There you go, babe.
Right next to it.
So Rio Wilde, the man with over 60 World Cup medals already in his trophy case. Back home in Pocatello, sees his chances improve a little bit more after the 2 9s by Buden.
Pa pucaj unutra, nisi mentalno, nisi igrati. To je...
Look at that
That's a
groove.
good end.
There you go.
You know, when your wife says, yeah, nice job, honey,
Figured it out.
you know you've done something right.
However, for Rio Wilde, that's 87
That is
points out of a possible 90.
that's what he came here to do.
Buden.
Shoot ends like that.
After 9 arrows, the archer from Croatia, Mr. Buden.
You had your dad coaching you today. How was that?
It was great. It was,
He's coached you before, hasn't he, Matt?
Yep. Yeah. He coached me at the Versus shoot in Mexico this year in the bronze medal match. Yeah, it's good to have someone that you trust and that you can share the experience with in the box with you. Whether that's your coach, which it could have been, it would have been Braden otherwise, but he had a prior commitment that he had arranged before we found out about this, and so it was great to have my dad in the coach's box. We have a lot of fun together, and he's been with me all along. Both my parents have been really supportive of me all along in my shooting ever since I started.
Your dad and Braden, though, they have different styles, don't they? Braden's a little fiery, doesn't he?
Yeah, they're both great in the coach's box, though. They both
Effective.
They both, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Both know how to keep you in the moment. It's a good shot.
Rio leading by 3 after 3 ends. Maintains that lead after the first shot of the 4th end.
Nice.
No let up from Rio Wilde.
Perfect score.
Can't do much better than that. Buden has done all he can. But Rio Wilde trying not to budge an inch. Does give back a point, though.
Just a little bit out. Still 2-point difference, though.
116, 114. 2-point difference after the first 12 arrows. 3 more to go. As Rio Wilde relaxed, staying loose. Trying to add the bronze medal here at the World Cup Finals to his collection of World Cup medals. Won the very first World Cup title in 2006 in Mexico. 10 years ago, wow.
I think this is his 7th World Cup final.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Won the bronze medal at the World Cup Finals 2 years ago in Lausanne. Was 7th in Mexico City last year. Was 7th in Paris in 2013. Took the silver home from Istanbul in 2011, and as we mentioned, was the gold medalist in Mexico back in 2006 at the initial World Cup Finals. Although I think Rio would be the first to tell you how much this has all come, how far it's all come.
Yeah, definitely.
And how much bigger of an event this is, and the staging of the event.
9.
And the competition as well, too.
Good shot. Staring a hole in that X.
Ripping up that target. A lot of ground for Buden to try to make up, and he's running out of real estate.
Rio's not letting up at all.
Strong, strong end by Dom Buden, but Rio Wilde. Smelling blood, going for the bronze, and can wrap it up. Grimaced, but he got it. Made him maybe a little bit more exciting and suspenseful than he wanted to, but still wins by 2, 145 to 143. So Rio Wilde gets it done.
Yep. Good match. Good shooting.
Good job. I thought they were yelling for him.
The 42-year-old Rio Wilde flexing those muscles, yeah. Rio getting the bronze medal here. Just as he did in Lausanne 2 years ago.
And give it up one more time for Buden.
Dom Buden, his first trip to the World Cup Finals, goes home empty-handed, but great experience and showed that he's going to be on the scene for a long, long time, and he's going to get his share of medals at these events.
Oh, yeah. I think he medaled in Turkey, didn't he?
Dom Buden, as we look back on his season, was the bronze medalist in Antalya on Tonioli Beach.
Yep.
So it was a good summer for him. Great opportunity for him to come here to Odense, Denmark, and compete for a medal, and almost got one.
Yep. It's a great experience, though, just being here shooting against the best 8 archers of the season in the world. It's a great experience, and to be one of them, too.
So there you see how we got to where we are. Mike Schloesser defeating Dom Buden, Cilliers defeating Rio Wilde. So Cilliers and Schloesser in the men's gold medal match. Final match of the day. As the sun starts to fade into the western sky here in Denmark, Mike Schloesser, first out onto the stage for his third match of the day. In earlier action, Mike Schloesser able to defeat Martin Damsbo by 1 point, 142 to 141. That was this morning. Then this afternoon, Mike Schloesser over Dom Buden. And now Mike Schloesser facing Cilliers. Cilliers of South Africa started off his day strong with a 2-point win over the defending World Cup final champion Demir El Maachla. Defeated the Turkish archer by 2, then Seppi getting by Rio Wilde by just 1 point, 144 to 143. Now into the gold medal match against Mike Schloesser. So Mike Schloesser, number 1 in the world. Cilliers, number 20 in the world. Schloesser, 22. And Seppi, 37 years of age. Schloesser averaging 9.8 per arrow. And Cilliers, 9.6. Top 10 finishes for Cilliers this season in Shanghai and Antalya. And Mike Schloesser, the winner of a gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai.
Goed.
Good start.
Zit mooi. Elleboog op. Ontspan je handen. Focus net aan die goud. Rustig. 10. 10. Mooi.
Seppi with the 10.
Tien rechts, net tegen de rand aan. Goed jongen.
Elleboog op. Mooi in lijn. Span net jouw hand. Rustig. Focus in die goud. 10. Mooi. Waar mooi.
Both of them are shooting great. Starting off strong.
10, 10, 10, perfect score.
He's going to want to check that arrow.
Moet je zeker even checken.
Focus in die
straks.
goud. 10.
8.
Cilliers the first one to blink. Drops down low into the 8 ring.
Hit one of his first arrows in
And
the
Schloesser with a 2-point lead, 30-28.
Either way, it didn't bounce out of that 10 ring, and he still scored.
The way they started off, Dahlia, I thought both of them were en route to shooting perfect scores,
Yeah.
which is still a possibility for Mike Schloesser.
Yep.
Dan heb je water in.
Definitely.
Ja, Sarah. Oké. Jij kan het doen.
And he knew it too.
Yep. He's had the nickname of Mr. Perfect, which I think probably, I don't know how fair that is to Mike, and it seems as though that would put more pressure on you if you had that nickname.
Well, in I think it was 2015, he set the world record, the indoor world record, at 600 points, and that's where he got that name.
It's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, it is, and it goes back to just focusing on you and not even
the other
thinking
stuff,
about that.
yeah.
But it is kind of a cool nickname.
Shot a record 7:17 in qualifying during stage 1 in China this year. And he did it using 2 different bows. He couldn't decide which one was better and which one he liked the most.
Wacht voor me, Spanje al.
Went with one for a while and said, I'll go with the other. And they both worked.
9.
So Seppi Cilliers trying to battle back after that 8 on his 3rd shot of the first end.
10 rechts, naar het buitenrek. Binnen jongen.
And Mike still has not missed.
Ja, elleboog mooi aan zijn. Focus rustig aan die goud. 10.
10.
Mooi.
Cilliers back in the center.
Ah, netjes jongen, zeker.
5 in a row.
Elleboog op. Spanje aan. Focus in die goud. Net rustig. 10.
9.
Can Schloesser make it 6 in a row?
Yep.
Yes, he can.
Yep. That's a tight group.
10-10-10, 10-10-10. A perfect score of 60 so far.
Mooi schoten.
Mike Schloesser.
So Mike Schloesser.
Kijk, hè, wat je doet met die pijlen.
A lot of other people, a lot of the archers, and a lot of people around archery have seen this before. We haven't always seen this in the big matches from Mike, but we're starting to see that right here.
In this match,
Yep.
Mike Schloesser
He's up by 4 already, 60-56.
in 7th spot.
It's good shooting.
Here's this final match, and he takes on.
I mean, you saw in his face a few times, just that look. Yeah, that's the middle.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was aiming at.
that was the goal.
You take that little pin right there, you take that bubble in there, you line it all up, then you just let it go, right?
Right.
Simple.
Easy as that.
Just like that. Anybody can do it. Not.
It sounds simple enough.
In theory, yes. In theory.
Blijf bij je taken, Mike. Doe wat je moet doen.
Along with Dahlia Crook, I'm Carl Arkey,
Net rustig, stijf
and
af.
you are watching the men's compound gold medal match here at the Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals. Seppi Cilliers from South Africa. Trying somehow, some way to get back in this match, but after the 7th straight 10 from Mike Schloesser,
He doesn't
gonna be
wanna
tough
give
to
him a
do.
chance.
Yeah.
Focus in die goud.
9.
Oké.
10.
8 in a row.
Kijk zo, dat is tegenaan. En ik even.
Spanje handen. Mooi in lijn. Rustig.
5-point advantage, Schlosser.
9.
And at this point, it's not so much about Seppi Cilliers. All eyes on this man, Mike Schlosser. 9 10s in a row. He's clean through 3.
Even tikken nu even.
And Mr. Schlosser shooting a perfect
Schlosser
for 9.
going for the gold and doing it in dramatic fashion right now. He has yet to miss on a single shot. 30 on the first end, 30 on the second end, 30 on the third end. Cilliers has been as consistent, but he's dropped 2 points in each of those ends, and he now trails by a total of 6. It would take a collapse of epic proportions by Mike Schlosser now to lose this gold medal, but I think what's in the back of everybody's mind, maybe not in the back, maybe on the forefront of everybody's mind, can he do it?
Yeah.
Just needs 6 more arrows in that 10 ring.
Yeah. That would be a good feeling to win the gold medal with the 150.
And Mike looks relaxed. He looks as though he's having a good time. He's enjoying himself, enjoying the moment.
Taking it all in while staying focused.
Ron Vanderhoff, his coach. Little fist bump right there for his protege.
Mooi in lijn. Ontspan jou aan. Niet rustig gespeeld.
4th end about to begin.
10.
It's a good shot.
Cilliers has shot very, very well here. Representing South Africa. There it is. 10 in a row.
Ontspan jou handen. Focus mooi in die goud. Sterk achter.
9.
Just a little bit left.
Oh, and the streak will end at 10. But a nice round of applause from the fans, the knowledgeable fans here in Denmark. After 10 straight 10s to start off the match by Mike Schlosser. His 11th arrow
Nou wat nou?
was just out in the 9 ring. We won't see a perfect score, but let's see how he responds. And he responds quite well.
And it was just a little bit out.
119 to 112 with 3 arrows to go. This match, it would seem to be all but decided. Mike Schlosser missing on only 1 arrow so far. As we talked about before, Mike's made no secret about his battle with his nerves under the spotlight in matches like this and finals and medal matches, but today he's been a cool customer.
Seems to have figured something out, have it under control.
And when he did have a few little bobbles here in the earlier matches, he was able to respond and come back from those.
And that's one of the biggest things, is figuring out how to respond to mistakes. And you can see there, he just laughed it off. But yeah, figuring out how to respond to shots that you didn't like, and letting them go, learning from them, but letting them go and moving on to the next one and refocusing.
Don't sabotage yourself.
Exactly.
Final end, Seppi Cilliers,
Rustig geschoten.
in all likelihood, settling for silver.
9.
Crowd hoping to see 3 more 10s maybe from Mike Schlosser, but that won't happen.
Ontspan jou aan. 10.
Good, strong, solid effort to finish off for Seppi Cilliers.
Good shot.
Mooi in lijn. Focus in die goud. 10.
Seppi almost sinks it in the 10 ring. If he caught it just barely. And Mike Schlosser, oh.
Ja, jongen, ontspannen. Doorwerken, doorwerken, doorwerken.
7.
A 7. He still had enough of a cushion to win, 145 to 140.
Yep.
Final shot was not a thing of beauty, was it, Dahlia?
It wasn't what he wanted, but he had enough great shots in the beginning for that to have a perfect cushion for that. Finished on top.
145, 140, Mike Schlosser, your gold medalist of the World Cup Finals here in Denmark. And this was one of those matches where, while they're still posing together right here, you got the feeling Mike Schlosser felt like he was just out there by himself, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was out there just enjoying himself, taking in the moment and focusing on his shot.
Mike got better as the day went on. His match with Don Buden was much closer, and there you see it on his final arrow, trying to hold it together, and he did.
And like we said earlier, they have 20 seconds, so there's not enough time to let down after something like that, and you have to take the shot.
Right. That clock is ticking. And Mike Schlosser with 10 tens to start off the match was able to put enough daylight between himself and Seppi Cilliers, where on his final shot a 7 would be something he could laugh about.
Sport Toto, the Turkish Sport Toto has 1 goal. Let the sport grow. Fila, the official uniform partner of World Archery.
So we'll set the stage here at the King's Garden, the beautiful King's Garden. What a setting. Here in the heart of Denmark, about 2 hours outside of Copenhagen. We were in Copenhagen last year for the World Championships at Christiansborg Palace, and got to hand it to the Danish organizing committees. They've done a great job. The fans have come out. They came out strong last year, have done so again this year here at the World Cup Finals in Odense, which is a lovely little quaint city.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you can celebrate tonight. You can go out a little bit, right?
Yeah, we've been walking around town a little bit, and it's such a beautiful city, and got a lot of like little stores in some streets just lined with stores, and it's really fun to walk around and just look around at the place. It's
You're not in
great.
Kansas anymore, are you? I've been waiting all day to say that, by the way.
Nope, not in Kansas anymore.
Not in Kansas anymore, no. Kansas has its own beauty in its own way, yes.
Yes, but it's definitely different, and
Not a lot of
beautiful.
cobblestone streets in Kansas, are there?
No.
No.
Nope. You can go pretty much anywhere here and find them, though. And it's really pretty.
Beautiful city as we get set for the presentation of the medals here at the King's Garden. It's one of the many beautiful sights here in Odense, where the day started what seems to be like a long time ago. Started out with 16 of the top archers in the world, 8 on the men's side, 8 on the women's side. And at the end of the day, it was Mike Schlosser and Marcello Tonioli coming out on top. And in 2 completely different ways. Marcello having to go to a shoot-off and winning by, I'm not even sure how much of a margin of victory that was in the shoot-off. It was that close.
It was really close.
And then a runaway in the gold medal match due to the dominance of Mike Schlosser. So first we'll have the presentation of the medals to the women. In compound competition.
The checks and trophies will be presented by Mario Scarcella, World Archery first vice president.
Tom Dillon will be involved with the presentations. Mario Scatazella as well.
The Longines watch will be presented by Kasper Gebek, brand manager for Denmark.
And we'll have the Longines prize for precision presented as well.
In third place, representing the United States
Bronze
of
medal
America, Crystal
goes
Gauvin.
to Crystal Gauvin of the United States. So congratulations to Crystal, who now has a bronze medal from Denmark to go along with the silver medal she won at the World Championships in Copenhagen a year ago.
Strong shooting by all three of these ladies today, and their competitors. It was great to watch.
In second place, representing Denmark,
Sarah Holst Sonnichsen. Hands high above her head, acknowledging the crowd. I've never seen her when she's not smiling.
Yeah.
And she came oh so close to winning a gold medal for these fans here in her home country.
Still a great showing. Great shooting.
She had an outstanding day
in first place,
and an outstanding
World
season.
Cup final champion, representing Italy.
And the top spot on the podium belongs to Marcella Tonioli of Italy, the 30-year-old, who caps off her season with a gold medal here in Denmark. She had come oh so close to winning a bronze medal in Antalya. Did win a bronze medal in Medellin. And after winning a bronze medal at the 2011 World Cup Finals in Istanbul, she finally gets to find out what it's like to be on that top step of the podium, where I think she just got a little bit too much to handle right there. The checks, the trophy, the books, all the loot that goes to the gold medal winner. And the Longines prize for precision. A lot of work, a lot of effort, some heartache along the way. Talk about heartache. The Italian national anthem in honor of Marcella Tonioli, the winner and gold medalist here at the World Cup Finals in Denmark. Without a doubt, the high point of Marcella's career, and she's had many high points. As we mentioned earlier, While she and Sergio Pagni were teamed up in mixed team competition, they were dominating back in, I think it was 2011, 2012, maybe
Yeah,
2013.
They were shooting, they shot phenomenal together.
They were lights out.
Yeah.
Nobody
Great
could
team.
touch them. Yeah.
Great team, and they knew how to shoot with each other. They knew, still know, but the cohesion was great. It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. As is this.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Mm-hmm.
Now you're centered.
Check this way, yeah. And hopefully one day Dahlia Crook will be out there. And somewhere, maybe it's Rome, maybe it's who knows where.
Like that?
Like that, just like that. With a big check in your hands. Let's talk a little bit about what it is like as we have a break here. We get set for the presentation of the medals to the men. What's it like to be a 16-year-old and running around the world like you are?
Well, it's a blast, honestly. I get to go around the world shooting in the sport that I love and making new friends, meeting new people, and just having great experiences and seeing what's out there and seeing what's possible.
What are your friends doing these days? Where are they hanging out?
Well,
They're going down to the coffee shop and.
No, they're great, and they've been really supportive. And
Jealous, I bet.
no, more supportive. They've been great. It's been really cool, and I've made a lot of friends in archery too, and a lot of people that I would never have met before, and I'm really glad that I did.
How did you get into the sport?
Well, 10 years ago now, in 2006, I watched the Chronicles of Narnia. And one of the main characters, Susan, she shoots a bow and arrow in that, and I wanted to put on a play of that. So I figured if I was going to play Susan, I would have to learn how to shoot a bow, and just never put it down.
See, you never know what the inspiration's going to be.
Yep.
And 10 years later, you're in Denmark.
Yep. Who'd have guessed?
Brand manager of Denmark.
Now Tom dealing up for the presentation of the medals. Secretary General of World Archery.
Representing the United States of America, Rio Wilde.
And accepting the second bronze medal of the day for the USA, Rio Wilde. First it was Crystal Gauvin, now Rio Wilde. And congratulations to the Wild Man, the Honey Badger from Pocatello, Idaho, who fought the good fight today. Won his first match by 1 point over Evren Çağıran of Turkey. Then dropped a 1-point decision to Seppi Cilliers and was able to win by 2 points over Dom Buden. Speaking of Seppi Cilliers, the silver medalist from South Africa. Strong day for Seppi. Started out strong with a 2-point win over Demir Elma Achla, the defending World Cup Finals winner from Mexico City. Seppi went on to defeat Rio Wilde by 1 point in the semifinals, and then in the gold medal match, he just ran into a buzzsaw named Mike Schlosser, who was on his game. Big time.
Representing the Netherlands, Mike Schlosser.
Mike Schlosser scoring 10 on his first 10 shots of the gold medal match. Pretty much put it away, Dahlia.
Yeah, and that goes back to the mental side too, starting off strong, and more often than not, your competitor noticed that, and it gave him confidence too. It's all around a good thing to start off strong.
So pretty much you look over there and you go, oh my gosh, that guy just shot 10 10s. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, in some situations that's the case. Others, the opponent's able to stay focused and just stay in his shot. But yeah, it was great shooting.
Well, Mike Schlosser with a bounty of loot that he's taking back home to the Netherlands.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.
And now the national anthem of the Netherlands. Congratulations to Mike Schloesser, Seppi Cilliers, and Rio Wilde, your gold, silver, and bronze medalists here at the King's Garden in Odense, Denmark. One more stop for one more picture, one more shot. So Mike Schloesser comes through.
Ladies and gentlemen, your compound men finalists.
He's been on top of that podium before. He is a world champion from Vellic in 2013. Well, Mike's had some moments of disappointment, but that did not happen today. It's been a great day here. We want to thank our great sponsors and congratulate all who medaled and all who came and competed. And we now look forward to seeing what happens tomorrow on Recurve Sunday at the 2016 Hyundai World Archery World Cup Finals. Till then, on behalf of my partner Dahlia Crook and our entire crew from World Archery and Hit the Roof Productions, we thank you for your time this time. Till next time, we'll see you tomorrow with more from the Archery World Cup Finals in Denmark. Good night, good afternoon, and good morning, everybody.